What is up, YouTube? We are here with
Tyler Mabley.
All right, Tyler. So Tyler played multiple Winamats, ended up in the finals of quite a few of them with Qliphort?
Yes.
All right, so let's dig on into this beauty.
Certainly. So, the monsters, 1 scout, sadly, 2 monolith, 3 carrier, 3 helix, and then 1 cephalopod, 3 disc. This is probably the most important Qliphort now, just because you have Qliphort Genius, and Qliphort Genius really lets you like turbo through your deck to search a lot of them, because this guy facilitates Qliphort Genius's effect to when you summon 2 to the zones it points to.
Yep.
You can add a level 5 or higher machine from your deck to your hand. So you can use this to search any of your Qliphorts, including like Scout and Monolith and all that.
How'd you like Cephalopod?
It's the weakest Qliphort easily. I considered playing more because he's a 9 scale, but he's just so inherently useless. It did actually end up winning me a game. They called time, and I was playing against Sky Striker Trickstar. He got me down below 400. He had 2 Lycris engraved, and I pendulum this and tributed it for a carrier. And then, Cephalopod activates, and what he does is when he's tributed by a card effect, if your opponent has more monsters in their graveyard than you do, you gain life points equal to the difference times 300, and then you inflict the same amount of damage to them. So I was able to use Cephalopod to inflict 200 damage, enough to win the game in time, which is pretty cool. But aside from that, it's very not important at all. As I said, Qliphort Disc is probably the most important Qli now, until Scout goes to multiples in the future, maybe. 3 shell and 3 stealth. It's fun to chain block with this card because they can't respond to it. I had to explain to some people that they can't Ash Blossom some stuff because of this guy. Well, mainly, I remember too because I played against the Draco guy and I decided him for going first, and I activated this to target my Scout to bounce it to my hand. He tried to Ghost Ogre, and I had to explain to him, you can't respond to it. He read it a couple times, he's like, yeah, it's fine. And after, I ended up losing that game still, but it was just funny. It's the same thing too. Some people tried ashing my Qliphort Disc when I tribute summon it. The thing is, all the Qlis have the effect to when they're normal summoned or set, they're unaffected by monster effects whose level or rank are lower than it. So with Qliphort Disc is tribute summoned, it's a level 7. Ash Blossom is level 3, so it can't be affected by it. So some people would just try to ash it, and then I'd be like, yeah, you can't do that, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Then for some personal attacks, 3 Fanny's Fiend and 1 Spell Canceller. So this is searchable with Qliphort Genius because it's a level 5 machine. So if you can establish Laser Clip and get an extra tribute summon to get the shell, or not the shell, the disc to search with Qliphort Genius, you can search this in and tribute summon this. And this won me a lot of games. Like of the 3 Sky Striker players I played, this won me every game I tribute summoned against it.
Alright.
Yeah, it was cool. That's all the monsters. No hand traps. The spells will explain why I didn't play any hand traps. Move on spells. 2 sacrifice, 1 laser clip. Sacrifice kind of is bricky. I don't really like it too much. It's already searchable since you have so many ways to get to Qliphort Scout. So I didn't think I had to play 3 of it. I don't miss the 3rd one. I almost never used the 2nd one to begin with. A laser clip is a searchable Brilliant Fusion. And the really cool thing about laser clip too is the normal summons of Qlis can't be negated. So, which is really nice because if they're going to try and Judgment or Warning your tribute summon, they can't do that, which is nice. The 3 Summoner's Art, 3 targets, 3 of this. I feel like that's fine. 2 Wavering. For a while I was playing 3 Wavering. I played 3 in the first side of it, but this card is a little bit bricky as well. You have to be able to make the Qliphort Genius to make this really good. And the recent ban list made making Qliphort Genius a lot harder, so I cut this down. I added a couple extra stuff in. It's fine. The card's okay, but I definitely wouldn't play 3 of it again. 1 Hornet Drone, 3 Engage. So this looks weird. The reason why you play this is your way to make Qliphort Genius without committing anything. Because what you do is you use this, make your Kagari, add this back, make this, you have your token, make Hayate, turn your token to Shizuku, and that turns into Qliphort Genius because they're both machines. It's a little it's kind of inconsistent now that this card's at 1, but being able to do the Qliphort Genius turn 1 lets you play the Spell Canceller in the main deck, which wins a lot of games. 3 Into the Void and 2 Desires. I ended up taking out the the third wavering to make room for another desires. You'd think this card kind of conflicts because you don't want to banish one scout, but most of the time when you're doing stuff like summoning Spell Canceller and trying to just turbo through your deck to try and get stuff to do that, it really doesn't matter if you do banish the scout. This card's fun. This is why I can't play hand traps, because you need to try and get to your Qli so you can start setting up your action deck for tribute summons. Which is fun. Then it's really cool with Into the Void, because during the end phase you can do some fun stuff, because Qliphort Monolith, you can't read it, but what it does is during your end phase of the turn that you tribute summon Qli monsters, you can draw cards equal to the number of Qli cards that you tributed for tribute summons. So there's a neat interaction with these where during your end phase you can resolve Into the Void first, discard your hand, and then resolve Qliphort Monolith to draw some free cards. So
I like that.
Yeah, it's cool.
And we don't have a side deck.
No, we didn't need a side deck.
We have an extra deck though.
Yeah, some of the cards are missing, and I'll explain about it. But you play the 3 Skystriker cards. This is to make your Qliphort Genius. That's the only reason why you play them. I played a Lanphalankus. This is worse Qliphort Genius, the 3 Genius. This card helps out so much, like especially when you're going second, because the thing that's really cool with him is his search effect's not once per turn, which is really nice. So if you can get Laser Clip on board, you can do multiple tribute summons to keep tribute summoning Qliphort disc just to try and kill them.
Oh wow.
It's also neat because he has the other effect where once during my turn, I can target a face-up card I control and one card my opponent controls, and both their effects get negated. So you can target like a Qliphort that got special summoned or normal summoned out tributing. Its effects get negated, then it goes back up to the 28 or 2400 that it normally is. So that helps to push for damage. It's also neat. He has other stuff too, like he's unaffected by Spell of Traps and the activated effect of Link Monsters. One guy tried to mind control this. He didn't get very far.
Okay then.
But it's perfectly fine. And I also played Meltron. You'd never make this. This is just filler.
Okay.
Other filler cards that I ended up playing. I played Nightmare stuff. Like I played Phoenix, Cerberus. I also played Unicorn. There was a Nightmare Griffin in there too. Deco Talker. Just like you just play other Link stuff that you might end up having to make at some point. You can play a couple Rank Force too. Like I'd probably play an Exciton Knight just to help and try to kill him. Well, not necessarily kill him. It's just when they make a big board, if you can break it with Exciton Knight, it's a really great feeling.